I don't know, it goes in between being a casual game, like kind of like a clicker game, to being like a highly specialized strategy game. So let's try it out. I'm gonna go a little bit softer here with the battle. Hold on. Yeah. So this is a game where you have a deck of cards. You have a deck of cards, or a river card. Let's turn that on. Sure, why not? Why not? You have a deck of cards that you pick, and it's a little bit like Settlers of Catan, if you know that, but only one person plays. We'll start it up here. If you see there, we're a little man. We're a little man right here. We're a little man, and we have equipment, like you would. It's very retro styled. It's styled like a very old PC game. And then you get these little cards in the bottom. You see, you have a little card here, and what you do is you place that around. You can place it somewhere on the board. You place it somewhere on the board, and then you just go around. So I'm not doing anything. Check it out. I'm not even playing. It just goes on its own. And when you go, he goes and he fights on his own. He goes and fights on his own. And then you get these little cards, right? You get nice little cards that you can put down. So you have a nice little, something like a village. A nice little village. And so if you look in the corner, I think where my head is, let me check that it's visible. It's not. I'm in the way. Hold on. Let me move me just a little bit. There. Now you can see a little bit. I had to move me a little bit so you can see. So if you look at the description in the right, for the house that I put down a village, right? And so you heal HP upon entering, and it gives you a quest. So every time you pass that tile, you'll heal some of your HP up here. So that's a very useful tile to have. And then you have a tile like this, a spider cocoon. Now this spawns a spider on a tile once a day. So it's not a good thing, right? You'd think, oh, why would I want that? Why would I want you to spawn a spider? Well, you put that down, because we're going to have to do that. We're going to have spiders spawn, because if you look up here, as we fill out the map, this meter will go up, and as this meter goes up, the boss will spawn, and that's how you win the game, is by beating the boss. So you have to put your tiles down, or you can't win the game, right? So you have to play tiles that are not necessarily good, because something good will happen when you place them all down. And there's other reasons you might want to place them down. We'll get into that later, right? So now I put down a rock. This is the kind of tile that's like, fills out the background here. The background. And what this does is it gives you 2 HP total, your HP total, and it gives you 2 more for every adjacent rock or mountain. So what you would do here is, place a bunch of those down to fill this out, and to have your HP go up so you can survive more. And then we have a bunch of other cards too. Let's just keep going ahead though. So I have a thicket card that I can use. I have a couple of those, so we'll put that down. So there's a forest and a thicket. There's 2 different kinds. This one gives you 1% attack speed, so you'll attack faster. This one gives you 2% attack speed, so it's doubled. So obviously these are better. So then let's put that one down. Let's put that one down. let's make it over here. This will be our, or, oh, you know what? Let's do this. So, we also have a river. A river. Oh, wow. Okay. So I just unlocked this one. It's interesting. I didn't know about this. So we have a river. And you have to connect them together. And so, as you place these river cards down, as you place them down, they'll extend the river. So let's put the thicket right there. So as you can see, it is doubling the 2%. So now we have 2% and 2%, which is 4%, but we should have 8%. That's pretty good. That's a good amount of speed. And next, we have a vampire mansion. A vampire mansion. Pretty spooky. What that does is it adds vampires to battles on adjacent tiles. You could do a couple things with that. If you put it down here, you see it has like a blue, kind of a blue area where it's going to make that little battle right there, where you have a spider and a slime, it's going to add a vampire. But if you put it down here, it's not going to add anything to anything, because there's no battles there. So you can try to put it somewhere that's empty, or you can put it somewhere that's full, depending on how confident you are. Because as you fight battles, you find gear, and you get little trophies, and you gain experience. So you're going to want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down the vampire mansion right here, right next to the village. But you'll notice that a change has appeared, and this village has turned into a ransacked village. Now these are things that are special about this game, where it has secret interactions that it doesn't tell you about, and you just learn about. And so if you put a vampire house next to a village, the villagers will die. The villagers will all die. And they will, and this becomes a ransacked village. And what happens is that ghouls now form. So where this was going to heal us before, now it's going to hurt us. And so this was actually a terrible idea, wouldn't you say? Now, I did this because the bottom tip says it transforms into something useful after 3 loops. Let's see if we can get that far. Oh, and then we'll put down a mountain as well. A mountain is a bigger rock. Isn't that true? That's true if you think about it, right? This one gives you 2 HP and 2 more for each adjacent mountain or rock. And this one gives you 5 HP for each adjacent mountain or rock. That's more. That sounds like more to me. Look, there's our little river. It's starting to spawn. How nice. Put down a cute little river. Happy little river right there. Okay, so we just completed our first loop. The enemy level has now gone up because it's loop 2. This is the reason why you need to keep getting better gear, is because as you move around, all the enemies are going to get stronger. So you have to make sure you can get stronger too. And so all the trophies that we got from killing enemies became equipment, because I have the class that we're using. That is the key for the class. There's several different classes. So let's go ahead and add some gear. More max HP is good. Oh, even more max HP. And then we have a little amulet with a magic HP. I'll show you what magic HP is in a second. Okay. A dirk. We have 2 item slots because we are a rogue. Today. And evasion. I like evasion. I like evasion. You don't have to worry about anything if they can't hit you, right? If they can't hit you, there's no problem. Now already I'm seeing this is a pretty scary area, where we were fighting one enemy before. Now we're fighting five enemies. 5 enemies, but that means 5 trophies, doesn't it? 5 enemies means 5 trophies. So if you're a strong, powerful man, if you can be brave, you can be rewarded for your bravery. Oh, hello, Larrys. Welcome. Oh, now we have to fight 3 spiders, a slime, and a vampire. Oh, Lobster Lagoon, which is for a word trace. A word trace. So let's go ahead and do that. Hello, Larrys. We have a couple of other people from Brazil who are around here too. So you are in good company. Okay, here we go. Let us trace the word laguna. Lagoon. Let's go. L. That was a little bit too. Okay, L. A. Lagoon. G. Lagoon. O. And then another O. And then I think I can fit an N right here. N. Lagoon. There we go. A nice lagoon, a lobster lagoon. We have a fun new tile called a treasury. So this gives you fun things if you place tiles next to it. So here, I put that down in the corner. And then let's put this meadow. Heals 2 HP at the start of each day. This meter right here tracks the day, and when it gets to the top, monsters will spawn, but also will heal a little bit because of the meadow. And then we'll heal a little bit more because of the meadow. Now, I put these meadows next to an object, and they became a blooming meadow, like a blooming onion that you could get from the Outback Steakhouse. So now we will heal 3 HP at the start of each day for each one. It's very complex, you have a lot of things going on, and a lot of it is mysteriously seems simple, right? When you're just going around, you're fighting this slime, but so many things are happening. Another spider cocoon. Kakuna. So let's put that down. Let's say over here, we'll spread it out a little bit, spread out the love. And then let's put out an outpost. Now this is a good tile. Where it will spawn soldiers to help us fight. Let's put it down here because we have, if you look at these ransacked village, that's a lot of enemies. We don't want to fight all those enemies all at once. So it'll help us, and it'll give us a little friend who will help battle with us. A friend who will battle with us. How nice to have a nice little friend who will battle with you. Okay. Now we got a temporal beacon in a meadow. Natural things to find. Let's put down the meadow here so it gets a bonus as well. My strategy with the meadows is to always put them next to another tile so you get a little bit more HP. So more enemies will spawn, and things will get even harder for you. But because more enemies are spawning, it's also kind of good, isn't it? You can fight more people. So let's put that there. Let's just lay it on, I say, you've got to live large. You got to live large. You got to push your limits. Push your limits to the limits. Now we have some boots. Depending on the size of your window, it might be hard to see. There's a little number in the side, but it generally tells you how strong that they are. Obviously, a level 4 sword is going to be stronger than a level 1 sword. That makes sense. And then, did we get anything else that was good? Did we get any other good things? We got 7 to 10 with 2 damage to everybody. Well, that's better than 3 to 5. 7 to 10. That's almost double. That's more than double. In certain cases. And it looks like that's what we have today to work with. So then let's go back on our journey. Back on our journey to defeat the slimes. And I like how it wraps up all of your stats there in the corner. And it just says, hey. It says, hey, that's how much you have. That's what you have to work with. And then put these rocks down. The rocks. Dwayne the Rocks Johnsons. And let's put down a meadow. Let's hold on to that. I think we can bring the meadow down this way. I think that makes sense. And let's put down the meadow right there. I don't know, the river, I'm just sort of eyeballing it. This is my first time with a river. So I don't have a solid strategy quite yet. I think what I want to do is kind of make like a snake arrangement. If you're familiar with the snake, do you know Snake? The solid man, the solid snake. Could be just like that. Like the game that everyone played on their calculator, their TI-81 or whatever, when they were supposed to be in math class. Though I imagine that the calculators probably are much better now and can do a lot more. We have 19 attack speed now. I wonder if that's because we've curved it around, right? We curved this around so we get 2% attack speed. 2% attack speed. It's doubled here. And it's doubled here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Plus 7, 17. But we have 19. So that means that we actually got a triple benefit, I think, from this. So 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. I think so. Yeah, that's right. We got a double bonus for that. That's pretty good. Now, we leveled up because we got enough experience by killing enemies. So you get a new trait. You can get a nice trait. And we have a bunch of different things. This one is fun, where a rat wolf will come to your aid in the battle 75% of the time, and he'll be a little friend who will fight with you. This one will give you a full hand of Oblivion cards. Now, those erase tiles, which can be helpful, but I'm not looking for that right now. I think we're going to be picky. We're going to be picky. And by being picky, it's going to make sure it makes our treasures that we get at the end of the loop better treasures. You get less of them, but they're better. I think that's good. That seems worth it to me. And hello, Voxel. I'm glad you can use a rat wolf. I think rat wolves are Some people say they're man's best friend. I say, why not woman's best friend too? So, if you'll notice, I'm not putting down too many of the forests. That's because, if you look at that, I'm gonna be picky, Riot. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be picky. That's just who I am. That's just who I am. Let's put down another vampire mansion here. And we're gonna leave the forests if we can, because I think we want to do thickets. We want to do thickets rather than forests because they're better. It's all part of the strategy. It's all part of the strategy, you know. I love the pizza rat. The pizza rat was my favorite rat. I wanted to meet him in person. I actually really don't like rats in real life, though. I think rats are very scary to me. They're scary to me because of the diseases that they carry. I get worried about looking at them and touching them. So, you'll have to forgive me for telling this story if anyone has a rat phobia, or mouse phobia rather. But I used to live in New York City when I went to college, and I had an apartment that was not so great. It was not so great, actually. And when I lived there, when I lived at that apartment, there were quite a number of vermin of all kinds. It was not a very well maintained place, as most places are, actually. As most places are not in New York City. And as part of that, you had a lot of mice, not rats, thankfully, just mice. And honestly, they felt like they owned the place. And maybe they did. It's possible that they did own the place. And I think, okay, I think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna go that way. Vermin, meaning, you know, just, oh no, this was not the place without windows. Yes, I also lived at a different place that was terrible, without windows. That was a crack den, because I had apartment mates who did crack, and it had a den, so technically it was a crack. But this was a different place. This was a different terrible place that I lived. That was actually an upgrade from this place in my mind. This place was, my room was about the size of a closet. I think it may have been a closet. You know, now that I think about it, it was fairly closet-like. And I think that, honestly, maybe the worst place I lived. I'm not sure. I think so. I think it's the worst place I've ever lived. But so the rats felt that they were, the mice felt that they owned the place so much. They felt so emboldened that they would come out and just look at me. They would come out from their hiding spots and onto a little shelf that I had, because I needed a shelf to have something that was not the bed on the floor. The mouse would come in, and the mouse would just stand on the counter, the shelf that I had, and the mouse would just stand there and watch me try and study, and it'd be like, you know, are you going to bed soon? I'm hungry. What you up to, bud? How's the studying going? You know, things like that. We had a little bit of a rapport, this mouse and I. It all ended up being okay in the end. wonderful story to share with everybody. So it's not all bad, right? Okay, get a little bit of, yeah, I think that's the one we're gonna go with. Okay. Yeah, I can't recommend it. Can't recommend living with a rat as your apartment mate. Though I will say, not the worst roommate of the bunch. Not the worst one. At least the rat, at least the mouse, didn't play terrible music. You know, at least there was that. That mouse had taste. So, we have here an Oblivion card. An Oblivion card. It upgrades into a Skyrim card. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you had... I am sorry, Voxel. Those are awful. Just absolutely disgusting. I won't say the word because even the name gives me the heebie-jeebies, you know. And I don't want to give anybody else the heebie-jeebies. Okie dokie. So we're going to put down another village. Another village and turn it into a desecrated village. I like to desecrate my village. I like to have those villagers die and feel pain and sadness. That's just me. I don't know how you feel about that. Now they're ghouls. They've become little ghouls dancing around in a circle. Let's just turn that up a little bit. Yes, I don't like those little varmints. Those varmints. There are a number of things where, like, you see them and you're like, well, maybe I should burn this place down instead of taking care of this issue. Maybe I should abandon all of this and move on. Maybe it's not worth it. Right. I believe you. I believe you. Some people have them as pets. But my brain rejects that information. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying that my brain can't accept that. Hello, Gigi Donut. Hey there. We got another level up. We got another level up. So, we can get HP back for passing roadside tiles. We can have a little bit of a chance of dealing a lot of damage. Or we can have our rat wolf friend come. I think we're going to get our rat wolf buddy. Our rat wolf buddy. He will have a 75% chance to join us. I like that. We've been talking about our rat wolves. It's time to get our little rat wolf friend to join us, I think. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put down a tile of this, right? Yeah, right here, right here, right here. Right there. I think that's going to be good. Right there. And then we're just going to keep on going. Just keep on going. When you... There are just some horrors. Should not be in this world. Something should not be in this world. Oh, here's a new tile. The battlefield. The battlefield. This spawns a chest, a treasure chest, at the beginning of a loop. And so, let's put it down. Let's say this seems like a good spot. enemies on the tiles who are nearby, they can become ghosts. Ghosts. Ghoulies. Well, not ghouls, these are the ghouls. So you have a chance of fighting ghosts. So these slimes could turn into ghosts, and that's bad. That's not good, but maybe it won't happen. Maybe we'll be fine. Maybe we'll be okay. Okay, so let's get these new boots. New boots. So this is a little bit higher in the magic HP, but less in the evasion bonus. And I like evasion, so let's go with that. This is a nice game to play while doing ASMR, because actually I've just been able to play it with just the mouse and brush the mic the whole time here. That's pretty nice. Okay, so that's an upgrade, but I don't know. Maybe not enough. Maybe not. Oh well, okay. That's an upgrade right there. So basically, Riot, we're just filling out the tiles. We're filling out the tiles and trying to have our little man survive, so we can get this bar filled and fight the boss, and then hopefully survive. It's all about just managing the resources that we have, trying to make a nice little environment like this river that we have. Yeah, actually, we do have a little city. If you look here, what was previously a ransacked village, because we put it next to a vampire mansion, what happened was the vampires came and destroyed everyone who was in the village. They destroyed the people in the village. They became ghouls, and because we are on loop 5, we have gone through enough loops. This one has turned into the Count's lands. The village is thriving under the vampire's protection, and its inhabitants are very generous. It heals 170 HP upon entering and gives you a quest with a better reward. So it's become better than it ever was, because the vampire chased out all the humans, and now I assume there's other vampires living there. And they'll help us out. Isn't that nice of them? We just had to abandon humanity. That's all we had to do. Just abandon humanity and the world could be a better place. That's a great life lesson. And so, we're putting these rocks down. We're putting these mountains down. These, again, give us more HP. Give us more HP over here. And if you see, we have a little blue bar at the beginning of every fight. It went away quite quickly because we're fighting a lot of enemies right now. We're fighting a lot of enemies right now. We're fighting quite a bit. But we have two of our friends. One of our friends seems to die, but our rat little friend is helping and doing quite a lot of good work. Thank you, rat friend. But you can see. So if you look above where the green health bar is, half of the bar is kind of a white color. It's kind of a white color, and that's our magic HP. It acts as a little shield that you get in every battle, which comes from this piece of equipment that we have. So it's a little bit of a buffer that you have to help you around, because your HP goes down, when people attack you, and it only goes back up once every day passes, or when you hit the campfire, and it doesn't go all the way up, it just heals by a little bit. Oh my. I did not notice, but something terrible has happened. So, while we were putting down all of these rocks, a goblin camp has spawned. Every 10 mountain or erases a tile of your choice, I'm going to choose to get rid of that. Because, I don't know, fuck a goblin. Fuck a goblin. I'm not going to worry about those guys. Come on. Goblins. Yeah, that's right. Those goblins don't deserve life. I've made that decision. I've made that choice. And there's a little scarecrow. A little scarecrow that appears on the wheat fields. I like putting those little wheat fields next to the houses, next to the little villages, because it gives you an extra 25 HP when you go to the space. So it helps you heal up a little bit more. It does cause scarecrows to appear, but I don't think that they're that difficult. I don't have too much difficulty fighting them, so I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that. And look, a single slime is no problem. A single slime. Not even gonna pay attention to that. Not worth my time or yours. Then we can put down another river. A forest, a river. Now, one thing that's difficult is that if you'll see, we have to think about the pathway of this river, which is something that I did not think about when we put it down, because I didn't know what the river did. Now we can lead it back this way, right? And try to get it past some tiles here, but then it's going to run into a problem where it can't go any further. That's not good. So it seems like we might have to bring it down here and waste a couple in order to go around and continue our beautiful little river. But that's okay. We can do that. We can do that. That's fine. Sometimes that happens. That's life, right? I don't know what that means. It doesn't really mean anything. Okay, so what we're gonna put down, put down another meadow there. A beautiful meadow. I like this little, landscape we're building. So the story in this game, because there is a story, is that the entire world was deleted. The entire world was erased. But what you're doing is you're going through and you're remembering what the world was like bit by bit as you go around. As you get all these what these are memories. You get these memories. And you say, oh yes, I remember there was a river here. There was a river there. There was a vampire mansion there. And so you're going around and you're trying to memorize everything. And if you die and you lose, you end up forgetting everything. And it's like nothing ever happened because you forgot it all again. The goal is to stay alive and remember as much as you can. Okay, we might. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're still okay. We're still okay. So, I thought this is just a nice, fun game to show because A, you can play it with one hand, and B, it's a new indie game that came out, and I am always interested in showing those off to people. It can be so hard to get their games out there, but this one is quite popular, though. This one is quite popular. But again, it's an indie game, and that really only has so much, I guess you would call it penetration. as a result, they're just a small little studio. They're a tiny little studio. But they've sold, I believe, over 6 million copies since the game came out, like a couple months ago. That's incredible. It's incredible. Unfortunately, stories like those are very few and far between, though. But even that, it's like, I don't know if everyone here knows about Valheim, right? You'd think that with that many people, everybody'd know about it, but I could say that name, and maybe the folks here are like, what you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, let's get that evasion. A big evasion. Big evasion. Oh, look, a little treasure chest. A little treasure chest. How wonderful. Oh, okay, that's great. We got another Oblivion card. We're going to need that pretty soon. I think. I believe we're going to need that fairly quickly. Oh, okay. So, let's put our vampire mansion down. I think this is a good configuration. My goal here is to make kind of like a little hallway of death. A hallway of death. That will surely kill me at some point. And now you can see the fruits of my configuration here, where I've put all these little rocks, which are approximately half the use of the big mountains. I put them into a 3x3 configuration. And now, as I put this down, look at that. It's turned into a mountain peak. A mountain peak. So you can have one mountain peak per game, per map. And a 3x3 tile will transform into it. And it will give you 110 HP and 5 additional for every adjacent mountain or rock. Unfortunately, it also spawns a harpy every 2 days. And unfortunately, I was foolish enough to put this temporal beacon next to it, so it's going to spawn them approximately every 1 day. Oops, but that's okay. Sometimes I'm not as smart as I would like to be. Sometimes I'm not as wise as I wish that I were. But it's okay, it's alright. We are going to put down our little... Let's put it down right here. More spiders. More spiders. I say, why not? Why not more spiders? Why not have spiders forever? What a wonderful thought. Now we are, if you look at the skull bar at the top left, we are about 60% done with the map. We're on level 2. There are 4 levels of games with 4 different bosses. So this is we're not going to fill out the entire thing. It can get quite crowded when you get further on. For now, taking it easy a little bit. We're just, this is a pretty hard game. It's a pretty hard game, so I just kind of wanted to have a mode maybe where we would win. Oops, I actually messed that up. I should have waited until after I passed that. We're going to have to fight another hard battle again. Great, that's wonderful. But we leveled up. It's okay. Now, 3 HP after a kill. That could help. We're killing a lot of enemies. more meadows, some more meadows. And then we can add some more meadows, more meadows, right here, filling out our treasury tile, a treasury tile. It's always good to do, always good to have a bigger treasure. And let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Another thicket, another thicket, a thicket, a thicket, a thicket. When you get 10 of those, you also get a pretty bad thing to happen. It's so sad watching our little friend die, our little rat friend die. So sad. Okay. More meadow, more meadow. Okay, a river again, so we can extend our river to the stars above. Oh wow, we can go over there too. I didn't know that. I guess that's something we could try. I didn't know that the river could go anywhere. Oh, interesting. But that's okay, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Did something happen? I thought I saw something happen. Did you see something happen? I could be making that up. I thought I saw something appear. A mysterious icon appear. Well, that time I definitely did. This is a fake village. The forest's attempts to understand human civilization will spawn a training dummy every 2 days. Now, they call it a training dummy, but it's actually a false human. It is a fake human that attempts to mimic humanity, and it's horrifying, so we're gonna get rid of it. Goodbye. I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. It's okay. It's okay. The fake humans won't hurt you. The fake humans can't get you where you are. It's okay. 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 Got nice new boots. Wonderful. And then we can get our new weapons that we got. Nice new weapons. We put those on. Let's put some new weapons on. 33. I think that's going to be pretty useful. That these are all level 8. We got 23. 20. 23. Let's go with this one then. That's a pretty good one. And then we have some upgraded amulets, 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 amulets. Put that up there. Hello, Bretto. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing tonight, Bretto? We're going to... I think we're pretty good. I think that's all we have for right now, for upgrades. But I like to avoid using the rocks and the forests chasing waterfalls. Stick to the mountains and the thickets that you're used to, I say. Oh, we got a nice little village there. We got a little village card. A little village card. So we could put that little village card down here or down there. We got our mountains that we can put down. Nice mountains. Yeah. You know, we've been getting a good series of cards because as we've been going around, we haven't had all three of these be ghoul islands, which can really do a number on your health. It can really be difficult. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that. The ghouls won't bother us. The ghouls won't bother us. Let me see. Whoop. I'm gonna put that there. Our river will eventually come around to that place. Oh, a temporal beacon. Two temporal beacons. Wow, that's two temporal beacons. I usually don't even... How many temporal beacons do you have in your daily life? Probably not that many. That's probably more temporal beacons than anyone would know what to do with. There's a lot of banging going on around here. The world. Look at these little goblins. But we have our wonderful wolf rat and our guard to help us win the day. They've been really helping us a lot, I think. They've been quite helpful, I might even say. Okay, so when we pass the village, I'll put it down. Put it down when we pass it. Well, I guess I could put it down now. I don't know. I'm torn. I am torn. Strategy is difficult. Hey, I just saw that you were spending the week relaxing and procrastinating, Bredo. That's awesome. I'm happy that you were doing that. You deserve that. I think, procrastinating is good too. I think it's great to, be proactive and make the future Dan feel good. Make the future Dan happy. Oh no, I lost an oblivion tile. Oh no. My bad. I'm a fool. Sometimes you want to make that future Dan feel like he has the world set out for him. But sometimes future Dan needs to deal with some of the problems. We need to have future Dan deal with certain things. For instance, today I was supposed to do laundry, but I said, you know what? Future Dan's gonna do the laundry. Present Dan is going to deal with the other things that present Dan has to do today. And it'll be okay. It'll be alright. I think I still have clothes to wear tomorrow. Hopefully. I guess you'll find out if I'm wearing clothes tomorrow. There's another goblin town. Get rid of that. is so shitty, Bretto. School's canceling spring break. I mean, like, on one hand, you don't want people going to Cancun or anything like that. But having just a week off to just chill out would have been nice. I never really took vacations during spring breaks at my school because I couldn't afford it, and because I'm not a Cancun kind of person. I'm not gonna get much out of that. But I really, really enjoyed like spring breaks, winter breaks, just having some time when you don't have to work. It takes a lot of the stress away. So I'm sorry that you don't have that. What boots are we gonna put on? What boots are we gonna wear? What boots are we gonna wear today? What boots? We're gonna wear those boots. Ladies, you all have that problem too, am I right? And then, let's see. It's a higher level but less magic HP. But that's okay, we'll wear it anyway. It has nice little bonus stats. To have. And then I think that's good enough. That's enough upgrades. That's enough upgrades that we have. Yeah, 15 weeks straight is a lot. Especially, yesterday in the chat when we were doing positive affirmations, there were some folks who were, I think rightfully complaining about how stressful studying for exams can be, Oh yeah, okay. This is where that goes. And I think I misplaced one of those. It's fine. It's okay. It's not a problem. We're just gonna watch it. We're just gonna watch this guy go and punch up some bad guys. Just punch up some bad guys. It's okay. It's no problem. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Whoops. I misclicked. Ooh, now we got another treasury. We have so many treasuries. That's amazing. Why do you ask, is this amazing? Well, allow me to tell you why it is amazing. Because each tile around the treasury gives you some bonus items. And when you complete the loop, you get a bunch of bonus items. And because of the way that I've placed these treasuries, a lot of these tiles count double. They count double, triple, or in this case, quadruple. This counts for all four. And look at that, look at all those items that popped up there. So many items. How fun. It's the little things, Look at that river. We got a whole bunch of rivers. We can just make this a nice big old river. A nice big old river. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make that a nice big old river, like I said. Okay, and then let's go on and let's fight all these guys, all these spiders, these vampires, these scarecrows. The typical enemies that you fight: spiders and ghouls and vampires and 7% attack speed. That's a double. That's more than double. These attacks are flying. These attacks are flying. Look at that. So fast and furious. Okay, let's put you right. Yeah, I think that's good. Right there. I'm gonna put you right there. And then got another vampire mansion. Another vampire mansion. You can put that right there. More vampires, more problems, I always say. I've always had that motto. I've always been saying that. I say that all the time. All the time I say that. More vampires, more problems. Just a nice vampire attack. A nice vampire attack. Let's put that there. Oh. I didn't realize we were ready to spawn the boss. I guess we are. I guess we're ready to spawn the boss. Well, how about that? How about that? The boss has been spawned. Would I have liked how we are made to be, I guess. I think if someone were to tell me that they wanted to destroy the world, it doesn't matter who they are, I'd probably say no thank you. And so now we're gonna fight. And this lady, she summons little mirrors. She summons a lot of little mirrors, you see. And what these mirrors do is they reflect attacks. So what you have to do is you have to attack quickly in order to get rid of them. Thankfully, we have our wolf rat friend. Our wolf rat friend will help us in the battle. She also summons an angel. An angel who will just do a bunch of damage. We can't attack them. We just have to deal with that. Or hopefully dodge it. We don't have a lot of evasion, but hopefully we'll be okay. We have quite a fast attack speed. We have 120% attack speed. Our wolf friend died. This is terrible. So as you can see, it's hard. It's hard to get her. It's hard to get at her because of all the mirrors. And so, every once in a while we're able to get a little bit of damage in. Just get a little bit of damage in. We're at about halfway. And she's at about 10%, it looks like. Maybe we'll win. Well, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. It could go either way. It could go either way. We did it. Look at that. We did it. Unacceptable. You can be mad as much as you want. Your rage won't stop me. I am mad, but not at you. I've been given such power, but I am not worthy of it. I'm unable to persuade even one fool to lower his weapon. One more servant of God shall perish because of me. No, this time I'm going to burn your body. Farewell to you. Farewell to you. Burn it, cut it to pieces, bury it. There's no difference. I am the faith itself. Do you think that you're able to kill faith? No, but I think that I've learned a lot from you. I will believe that this world has a chance, and I will believe that I can succeed. The power of faith works both ways. So then we can get that's good. I'm glad it's putting you to sleep. That's why I'm brushing the mic along with it. So let's just get these resources and then go back to the camp. Goodbye. And now we're all done. Now they have different cards that you can have. You see, I assembled this little deck that we had of 13 cards. You have as little as 7 or as much as 15, and you can make your strategy of which cards you want to have. That can change the game quite a bit, I think. And so, there's different bosses that you can fight. I've not beaten the third one. I've heard that there's a fourth. And there's also different classes. You could be a warrior. You can be a mage, a necromancer. And they're all very different. It's an interesting game.